Alrighty, good morning, everybody. How is everyone today? Welcome to the DSP Morning Show for Wednesday, the 4th of February, 2026. How are you? I hope you're doing well, and I am ready, I hope, for the day. What a day today will be. It should be a fun one, a good one. If everything goes according to plan, I guess we will have to find out. So what's going on? What's the word on the street today? I don't know. Been too busy. I've been too busy. What's up, everybody? Who do we got today? Who do we got? Good morning to everyone. We got Simply Not There, Daniel, Wow Do You Moo. We've got Dungeon Keeper's Mistress, M. Lando, D-Man. Chris is here this morning. Rose Diamonds, Screeby. Jade is here. Good morning, Jade. Good to see you, man. The Queen of Hearts, Bono's Tecmo. You get it. Irony97. Ban This Loser. That's a nice name. Leggings for Christmas. Doesn't sound like a very fun Christmas. Roach God, RGB Lover. Very matter-of-factly, who says the guilt tripping has begun already. Has it? Was there on a different stream? I didn't hear any guilt tripping yet. There will be guilt tripping, but not yet. Brandon Sin, how you doing? Who else is here? Rowdy Roddy, Starboy. Good stuff. So hopefully you're all in good spirits and ready to chill. It's going to be another interesting one. And what I mean by that... Oh, Casanova, what's up? Grandmaster Scrub, good morning. Net Muck, how are you? Toxic Element is here. There you go. Very good. Donger Ponger, what a name. So what's going on today? What's on our agenda for today? Well, today will be another very big day of variety here on the stream, meaning it will not be just one particular thing we're sticking to today. We've got a DSP morning show where we're hanging out for the next, half hour, however long we feel like hanging out. Today's first gameplay session is Street Fighter 6 major stream, and here's the deal. First, I'm going to warm up a bit with Sagat, probably about an hour, I think, of doing casual play. And then I'm going to do my ranked placement matches today on the stream. All right? I have absolutely no idea how this is going to go, because as I've played with Sagat over the last week, maybe a little bit over a week, I've literally had completely mixed, experience. Sometimes I'll play, and the game will be great. Nice, smooth connection. Interesting match, and whether I win or lose, as long as I'm playing and I learn something about the character, then I'm good with that, and I have dramatically improved with my Sagat over the last week. If you didn't notice, last stream, I was facing people who beat me 10-1 last week, and I beat them 2-0. So definitely I've learned and improved, right? But this game online is so hit or miss. You'll have one match where it'll say, oh, you have a 30-40 millisecond connection. Oh, good, and you play, and it's smooth. Wow, everything's coming out, everything's great. Then you'll have another match that says you have a 20 millisecond connection, and it drops half of your inputs. I want Shoryuken. Oh, it gives me low medium punch. Okay, I just want a low medium punch. You get Shoryuken. How is this possible? And I've been explaining to you guys how rollback netcode works and why actually it is not good for fighting games, but the FGC is too ignorant to know better. That rollback netcode does is it hides lag. Okay, the visual experience for the most part looks smooth, but when you hit the button, it will actually drop your input in order to make that look smooth. Seriously, that's how it's designed. That's what the idea was behind it, so that this could be sold to companies to be in games and make money. That's actually the reason for the netcode. Okay. So that's just a messed up situation of playing Street Fighter 6. And I have to deal with it. If I want to play this game, I have to accept the fact that the netcode is wonky and that there's going to be matches where I'm doing incredibly well and then all of a sudden it drops one move and I lose the entire round. That's the nature of Street Fighter 6. Every character has the ability to punish you for a mistake that leads to you losing half of your health bar or more. Sometimes it could even be more than that. And that's pretty frustrating. So I don't know how today's going to go. It could very well be we play for an hour to warm up, and then I go do my ranked placements, and it's laggy match, Cammy, Jury, you know, every top tier in a row, and I'm just handed loss after loss. Or it could be the polar opposite, where I get lucky and the connections are good, and I play against people that aren't all top tier abusers, and I just turbo through them, and we end up in Master after the ranked placements. You know, you just never know. Take a look at what happened with my first ranked placements on PC a year ago. Some characters like Dalzim and Honda, I did incredibly well, but then when I played with like Lillian and Zangief, I could not win matches at all. Okay? So, yeah, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen. And on top of all of that, because you already know it's going to be a very challenging, dramatic, suspenseful, rage, but possibly victory-filled afternoon. Okay? So, on top of all of that, guess what? Today, we're going to have full sun outside and spring-like weather again. It's going to be 60-plus degrees outside with full sun in the middle of winter. It's February 4th, and we have spring weather outside again. So the heat wave came back. It was gone for about a week where we had rain and cool. It's back, and they're saying this year we're definitely getting El Nino out here. And because of that, it's just unseasonably warm weather, and we're actually, in some places of the state, they're breaking records, heat records for today. It's bad because I don't have my air conditioning in. So I'm not kidding. Right now, we haven't even started a single thing. It's 79 degrees in this room. And over the afternoon, as we're going out, what is this idiot? Let's get this more out of here. As we're going out to try to get Sagat ranked placements and all of that, okay, this office will likely be heating up to like 85, 90 degrees. Because when the sun comes out, it beats on this office wall in the afternoon. I don't have air conditioning in here. It ends up heating up dramatically. So not only is it going to already be a stressful afternoon, but it just had to align with the hottest day of the week, right? It is what it is. I have to deal with it. So we're going to do my best here to actually perform well, get Sagat to Master, hopefully. If not, it's not the end of the world. And the reason I say that is Street Fighter 6 has dramatically changed the way that you rank up in the game. It used to be you do your placement matches, and if you have bad luck, you're just that, out of luck, because you're stuck in the doldrums of low rankings for a long time. I remember there was a few characters originally that their placements went poorly, and I ended up in like platinum or low diamond, and the grind up to Master took like 3 streams. You're talking hours and hours of beating scrubs, and it's just not even entertaining to watch because these people suck. So it's just spanking people who just don't know how to play, and then you finally can get to a level where there's some comp. It just takes forever, okay? The good news is they changed that with Street Fighter 6 now. If you go on a win streak, basically you start getting dramatically increased rewards. And so, for example, what happened with both Lily and Zangief, I went on a 10 win streak, and then immediately any other wins I got would give me an entire level. So I went from 1-star diamond, 2-star diamond, 3-star diamond, 4-star, 5-star master within like 6 matches. That's a good thing, I feel. It definitely allows that if you have a bad time with your placements that you can at least, you know, turbo your way forward. And that, I think, is how it should go. But in truth, I just want it to go well initially. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stuck at the bottom and having to do that. But the good news is we won't be stuck there eternally. I remember there were some tough streams with like Lily and Dalzim, you know, 3 years ago, where they were just boring as dirt because I'm just spanking everyone, but I'm barely leveling. I just don't like how that system worked back then. But thankfully, they improved it. And again, that's why when people ask me, Phil, why do you play Street Fighter 6 if you don't like it? It's not that I don't like it. I do enjoy modern fighting games. I do. I like having competition in this style, this genre. The problem is, I just wish that they would stop saying it's better than it is and stop kissing this game's butt and acting like it's the best fighting game of all time. It's definitely not. Okay, it has a lot of shortcomings, a lot of issues that never have been addressed by Capcom. Like when they update this game, they never actually tweak it to make it better. All they do is they say, oh, how do we adjust it? Let's just tweak the top tiers a little bit. And then that's it. But what about Lily, who's arguably the worst character in the game, and you never really have improved? I think once ever they gave her like one small advantage, and then they nerfed something else at the same time. So what is going on? Why can't they make a game that's balanced and a game that's more fun to play with more variety instead of the top tiers pretty much all playing the same? I don't know. I don't know if it's ineptitude. I don't know if they just don't care because they think the top tiers look flashy in a tournament setting and therefore they're more entertaining to watch. I couldn't tell you. But that's what's disappointing to me is not that the game is bad, but the game could definitely be better. And it's been almost 3 years and the game's not any better. It's pretty much the same. So it is what it is. I will have to deal with it today. Hopefully it will be a fun afternoon stream for everyone once we get into Street Fighter 6 again. Okay? So thanks for being here early. We're going to chill for a bit and see what you guys want to chat about and then go from there. We got a few shout-outs to do already, so we might as well begin. We start off with Chimchar with a $2 super chat, and he says, what netcode is better than rollback then? There is none because no one's invented another one since rollback, which is my point. Rollback was invented in the 2000s, okay? 20 years ago. And since then, everyone just says, oh, rollback's the best. Well, then why not invent something better? Why did we stop? Why did we just say, oh, rollback's better than the old lag-based netcode? Cold stop. Don't develop anything else ever again. I don't know. But it's funny because when a game doesn't even have it, people beg for it, then they add it. It's like, but yeah, but it still sucks. It's not any better. It looks better. Again, rollback netcode makes the game look better. It makes it look like it's going smoothly. Meanwhile, it's dropping a lot of your inputs. So as the competitive player, you're frustrated. As the viewer, you don't care. You're like, oh, this looks pretty. So it sells, right? It goes into all these games. They all want it because the game looks good online. It looks good in tournament. It makes it look better than it is. But that's not the reality of the competitive play. I'm sorry. Sorry that I'm one of the few people who's honest about this stuff. And because I have no stake whatsoever in the FGC. I don't care if these games sell well or don't. I don't care if the stream for the most popular, fighting game gets a bunch of viewers and makes a lot of sponsorship money. I'm not invested in it. I just play them casually and have fun and cover them in my own way. I don't consider myself part of the FGC at all. So, they've also said, which I didn't even know, apparently the best internet in the United States right now is actually in the Northeast, like where I came from, supposedly. And then particularly also in the Washington, D.C. area. Like, that's where the best internet is. So if you live in those areas and you're playing against people in those areas, you can have almost lag-free, almost no input dropped connections. But apparently, for what I'm going to understand, the internet infrastructure on the West Coast is way worse. So my internet has actually been way worse than a lot of people who are playing fighting games. And there's nothing I can do about that because that's based on the infrastructure out here and how the netcode works and takes advantage of it, So anyway, it is what it is. We're going to have an afternoon. We're going to see how it goes. There's nothing better than rollback, but that doesn't mean that we should have given up on netcode 25 years ago because rollback was invented. It means that maybe we should actually strive for something better because it's inferior and it drops inputs and it's frustrating as shit. Just saying. Okay. Vasil did a $13.13 super chat. And he says, here's to hoping for some good games and getting to master today. Thank you very much, Vasil. I appreciate that. And looks like we had 500 kicks from 220. Did you consider renaming this to the DSP afternoon show? That way you can have a place to put any new segments. Huh? What do you mean? No, the only complaint I've heard is people say, well, the DSP morning show takes place in the afternoon for most people. Well, for me, this show started 10, 15 minutes ago, and it was the morning. I still have another 22 minutes of morning. And the show will go another 22 minutes. Now, it may go longer than that, and that's okay, but it starts in the morning. So you name the show after when the show starts, not when the show ends. Right? It's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a moot point what the show is called. I can call it DSP Dicks Around for all I care. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just us killing time before we start with gameplay and getting topics out of the way so that basically we can focus on gameplay once I start with gameplay. Because the problem is and I've always said this because people used to complain, why do you do a pre-stream at all? Why do you talk before your gameplay? And my answer was always the same. Because if I don't do this, the moment that we start with gameplay, like let's say I just turned on the stream, we immediately jumped into Street Fighter 6. People would start tagging me, asking me questions, want to talk, and I'm not going to talk because it's time for Street Fighter 6, right? It's time for us to start the gameplay. So then people would be upset. Oh, why is Phil ignoring us? Why doesn't Phil talk to us? Why isn't he interactive? Well, because I'm busy and we're going to play a game now. You see, this is a hangout session that we do so that we can have these conversations. I can tell you about topics that are on my mind, tell you about what's coming up in the day. Have this back and forth so that then we can focus on the game when we start with the game. Particularly with Street Fighter 6, I can't really talk with you guys that much when I'm playing it. I can only talk between sets. So we really have way less interaction on a Street Fighter 6 day than a normal day. So makes sense to have a show like this, right? Let's say I renamed the show the DSP Afternoon Show. Then you'd have people who would be like, oh, but it's evening for me. What if I called it the DSP Brunch Show? They'd be like, oh, I'm eating dinner. So it doesn't make sense. So it doesn't matter what I call the show. It really doesn't. Someone's going to whine and complain and be a stickler because no matter what DSP does, it's wrong. That's always the mentality of the internet. It doesn't matter what I do or what I say, it's wrong. Right now, I could come up with the ultimate cure for all types of cancer, okay? Then I could walk out into the street and I could stop a gang from shooting up a neighborhood single-handedly. Then aliens could land, try to invade, and I could blow up their spaceship, saving the planet. And then a meteor could come to strike Earth, and I could punch it with my fist and destroy it, saving all of humanity forever. And they would say, man, he snorted when he did it. What a joke. And then they make memes about it on the internet. So I don't care what the name of the show is. It doesn't matter. Okay? Okay. And that is, here we go. We're going with the troll contributions again as we start. Good. Thanks for the troll contribution. Okay. I mean, that was pretty pertinent, wasn't it? It was very good timing right there. Okay. So what else is going on? Oh, Game Boy, how you doing? Good to see you, Game Boy. How are you, man? Who else do we got? Because some more people joined. Casanova, how are you? He says, The Breakfast Show. Again, call it The Breakfast Show. Everyone will complain. All right. I have received a very generous contribution here already. I received, listen to this, a $50 tip early. Wow. Let's get this on the leaderboard and see what this person has to say. Let's get a nice animation. Here we go. $50, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's get that on the leaderboard and then let's see what they have to say here. Thank you to Boom Arms Defeat DSP for a gifted sub as well. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. So, the anonymous $50 tipper wants to remain anonymous. Will you be playing ranked today? Yes. What are your thoughts on Ryu making a resurgence amongst the high-tier characters used in competitive Street Fighter 6? Have a wonderful rest of your stream. You know what's kind of weird? That Ryu, in a lot of modern Street Fighter games, isn't that good. Like, Ryu was kind of mid-tier for most of Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 5, I don't think he was ever good, was he? It's like, he's the main character. Like, you understand that Ryu is the actual focal point main character of Street Fighter. He has been since the first game. He's the wandering warrior, the guy who is the representation of the spirit of Street Fighter. He doesn't even have a home. He just wanders around taking on whoever is considered the biggest level of competition. Like, that's the point, you see? So, it was weird that in a lot of these games he was just mid or low tier. In Street Fighter 6, he started off mid-tier. He just wasn't that great. Basically, what he could do is some safe hit strings that would lock you down, and that was about it. He didn't have much in the realm of high damage output, abusable tactics, etc. Now, from what I'm to understand, I don't know because I didn't study anything new or anything like that, but I think what they did is they tweaked a ton of his normals. So it seems like his low-medium kick, as well as his standing fierce punch, stuff a ridiculous amount of stuff. What I'm guessing is they shortened his hitbox, but increased the hurt box. What that means is, or was it the other way around? I think I got him confused. What that means is he could hit you from a longer distance, but you can't hit him because they shortened his box where you can hit him at. You would understand if you actually saw the boxes I'm talking about, because I know what they look like. I've played fighting games for so long. I've seen the actual hit and hurt boxes. But basically, they made his range wider and made it harder to hit him. So because of that, Ryus are no longer afraid of throwing out certain normals. Like that low medium kick seems to stuff almost everything now, and that's an easy drive rush into a combo. So I think that they've made him a better mid-range character. I don't know if he can necessarily fully rush down, but once he gets you to the corner, he can really stick you in the corner and get you stuck. Much like previously how Cammy, Jury, DJ, back, I guess before they nerfed DJ, etc., they could do the same thing. And now Ryu can do it too. So, yeah, I mean, he seems a lot better. I've been fighting a hell of a lot of Ryus since I returned to Street Fighter 6 a few weeks ago. They've been very prominent. Obviously, there's a reason. I've fought way more Ryus than Ken's. If you remember, Ken was the most common character at one point. Easy mode, top tier. And I think what's happened is they didn't nerf Ken, but everyone's fought Ken enough that they understand his patterns and things to get around them. Meanwhile, they buffed Ryu. So Ryu being better, everyone's going to pick him more than Ken now. You see, this is the point I was making about how I don't feel that they've really fixed the game. Because if you just continuously tweak the top half of the game, which is what they've done. Let's tweak Zangief. Let's tweak Blanca. Let's tweak, Cammy and Jury and DJ and Ryu. They even said, so the Shotos used to be Ken was the best, Akuma was middle, Ryu was bottom. Now it's Ryu is top, Akuma is middle, Ken is bottom. Which is stupid. Wow, you shuffled the deck. But what about the whole bottom half of your game? What about Mano? What about Lily? What about Honda? What about Dalzim? We don't need to touch them. What do you mean? They're still at the bottom. Don't you want to make them better so now there's more competition and there's more variety in the game? No. Why not? It doesn't make sense. It's very bizarre how Capcom has handled this game. I don't know why they've handled it this way, but they have. So, anyway... There's supposed to be a 37-second cooldown on the support command. I don't think it's working, is it? Well, now I'm going to do a minute cooldown on the support command, and if it doesn't work... There we go. I just put a minute cooldown on the support command, so it should not be able to be spammed like people are trying to do. It's not working, huh? No. What's the point of a cooldown on a command if the cooldown doesn't work? Huh. Yeah, look, I don't know. I can't stop that. All I can do is turn the command off, but I don't know why the command is doing that. I'm literally staring at the page right now of the support command on Kick. Here it is. Let me open it again. It's on normal mode. Platform kick only. I have it set to 1 minute and 4 second cooldown. And it apparently doesn't work. Wait a minute. Did that work? Oh, wait a minute. The whole thing is glitched. Let me go to it again. Because I just tried to set permissions of who can use the command, and that didn't work either. Okay, I changed the permission of who can use it, and it looks like it's stuck now. So now the command should not even work for the common user. They shouldn't be able to spam it. Let's see if that fixed it. Yeah, it looks like it did fix it, but now of course, people are going to spam the other commands too, because they're going to be stupid. It used to work. The timer used to work. I guess it broke at some point. Yeah, look, why is it still popping up like that? No one even typed the command that time. And it popped up. What the hell? Oh, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Wait a minute. It's the stupid idiot with his 100 sock accounts that's doing it. What a dunce. Let me ban this idiot. I was like, wait a minute. I shut the command down. Only moderators can use it. How on earth could that be getting spammed? It's not. It's the idiot with his bot network. Okay, let me ban them. Okay, now it's fixed. Yeah, see? Okay. All right, that's good. Just scrolling down now to fix it. Here we go. Okay, fixed. Cool. Sorry about the distraction, guys. Yeah, there was a little fail there in regards to the bot on Kick, and I had to look into it, but I think we've tackled that now. Okay? Okay. Cool. All right. Excuse me. By the way, Jamie Lee Curtis Big Breasts has been a member for 2 months. Thanks, Jamie Lee Curtis Big Breasts, for 2 months of support. How nice of you. Why did I ban Real Life Loser on Kick? Because someone contacted me saying that Real Life Loser on Kick came to their stream and begged them to host Raw Phil. And then they showed me the chat log and said, just so you know, this guy's doing this behind the scenes, trying to get people to watch your detractors. I said, oh, okay, and I banned him. That simple. Can I try League of Legends during my marathon? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if people want that. League of Legends? Of all games? I don't know. What's up, Space Jam fan? How are you this morning? Good to see you. All right, we got some time to chill. Let's see what people want to talk about on the morning show today. I've addressed the topics I want to talk about. So just for the record, for the rest of today, it'll be Street Fighter 6 on this stream, okay? And me the first hour, we'll be warming up with Sagat, and then after that, I'll go to my ranked placements, and then we'll try to play some ranked gameplay after the fact, seeing where I get placed. And then tonight on the late stream, it's the return of RimWorld. That'll be fun. Hopefully it goes well and we continue on with this third group of survivors advancing. We've researched a ridiculous amount of fun stuff now. The problem is we don't have the components to do any of it. So I need to somehow find components so we can start doing things like guns and turrets and stuff and actually start exploring. We're actually researching the portable food that you can take with you and it doesn't go bad, so therefore you can explore the planet. That'll be pretty cool, to like sending out parties to explore and stuff. So we're getting to some really neat parts of the game, I feel. That's tonight on the late stream around 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then tomorrow, it's going to be the premiere of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. That's going to be really fun. Hopefully it's good. Okay, hopefully. I'm excited for it. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in a really, really long time. And it should be a good time, okay? Chilling and enjoying a JRPG together. Tomorrow night, we're going to play Hellmart. This game that I tried last night, and people seem to like it, but we didn't get far enough to really see the horror elements too much. So we're actually going to do a full stream of it tomorrow night. Okay, that'll be fun. And then, of course, Friday is my big marathon. And FYI, last night, on this tryout stream, people came up with a tremendous amount of games for me to try. Here's just a few of them, okay, off the list here. Possible new games, ready? Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Return of Obra Dinn, Trepang 2, Curiosity, Pacific Drive, Total Chaos, DayZ, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, Iron Lung, the Fierce to Fathom series, and Deadlock. We got a lot of possible games to be playing on Friday, and that's what the whole marathon's about, just trying games and seeing if any of them are any good, and seeing if any of them stick and want to become playthroughs in the future. Of course, there's going to be booze and food and a whole Super Bowl / Valentine's Day theme and all kinds of stuff going on Friday, but that's going to be excellent. You know, good variety of stuff on Friday's marathon, so I hope you guys will be here if you can make it. All day Friday, there's going to be that kind of fun, okay? Good stuff. Jade, I have no plans to play with DJ. No, I have no plans to play with DJ in Street Fighter. I saw him early on. If you remember, he was one of the first characters I tried in Street Fighter 6, and he just is completely different from how he had ever been played previously. He basically has no moves that are even reminiscent to what he used to have, and I just don't like the build, so I'm probably not going to use him. No, I have no plans to live stream and react some space mission to the moon. No. Why don't I play fighting games with better online play like Guilty Gear or BlazBlue? I don't like them. I tried playing Guilty Gear back at its inceptions before there was online play. Seriously, and it was just I don't like the visual style. I don't like the character builds. I respect the game. Like, I used to watch tournaments of Guilty Gear, and at high levels, that game is insane. It really is, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like the visual style. I don't like the how the game plays either. Like, it just doesn't entertain me. I don't find it fun. Many people do, and that's fine. It's your whatever floats your boat. A lot of people don't like Mortal Kombat. A lot of people don't like Tekken. You know, for me, it's that kind of game that I just don't like for whatever reason. I already have Deadlock. I'm good. I already had Deadlock. Someone had already invited me to it, and I forgot all about it. I had installed it and everything and never played it. So I'm in Deadlock. We can play whenever we want. Can we try Kenshi one day? Maybe. We were actually going to do Kenshi during the Christmas marathon, and then people changed their minds. Like, I had it installed and everything, and we kept doing polls, and no one voted for it. So we didn't actually play Kenshi on Christmas, well, during the Christmas marathon. Did I ever use unusual characters like Shuma Garath in the Versus series? Yes, I did use Shuma Garath in the Versus series. That's a fun character. He really is an oddball. He doesn't really play like anyone else. He basically, the goal with Shuma Garath is to keep people away with weird projectiles and weird, like, hitboxes on his normals. But then to grab and do insane energy drain, because his throw would actually suck a lot of health out of the opponent, but he absorbs health back when he uses it. So you could technically get hit by a combo, but then get 2 throws in and get all your health back. Very unique character build. Also, he had a grab super, which also was very unique in the Versus series. Sounds like an unfair character. Shuma Garath has never actually been top tier. In Marvel Superheroes, his first appearance, he's high, mid to low high tier, but he's not top tier. He doesn't have really super abusable stuff. He has to try to catch you with the throw over and over, or get a hit here or there, but he's just not as good as the top tiers. Gameboy says, did you ever think about consolidating the morning show or podcast into one singular day? Then you could talk about all the happenings for a week and focus on gameplay the rest of the days. Well, it's like I just said earlier, Gameboy, but I think you came on the later side. The reason that I've always done a pre-stream since I became a streamer in 2017 is very simple. If I don't do a segment where I talk with the audience before I start the gameplay, the entire audience would want to talk to me when I'm trying to start the gameplay, and it would completely derail it. For example, today I'm playing Street Fighter 6. Let's say today was one of the days when I decided I'm not going to be doing a morning show or a pre-stream at all. We'll just jump right into Street Fighter 6. So what's going to happen is I go to play, and people are tagging me, hey, Phil, what about this? What about this? How you doing? What's this? What's going on later tonight? What's this? What's that? And I can't answer anyone because I'm playing Street Fighter 6. And that game takes all of my attention away, right? So now people feel like I'm ignoring them, and I wasn't social enough today. Or on the flip side, let's say I wasn't playing Street Fighter 6, but instead we were playing, I don't know, I'm trying to think, RimWorld, right? I go to play RimWorld, but now everyone just keeps asking me questions. So instead of playing RimWorld, I'm just sitting here talking with the audience, so now there's no gameplay. You see, not giving the audience opportunity to interact is detrimental to everyone. It really is. It's not doing my good job as a streamer, nor is it allowing me to focus on the things that a lot of people actually want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want interaction from me, and you're not going to get it if I'm just jumping right into games, okay? And that's the thing, like, things have changed a lot over the years. At one point, people did tune into my streams just for games. That's completely the opposite now. Like, now people want that social aspect every day. They really do. The other thing on top of that, that is a factor that a lot of people don't realize, things happen every day. Like, for example, yesterday, I had absolutely no plans to do a podcast. And then all of a sudden, this big news story hit that Obsidian Entertainment's lead, their head guy, got interviewed by Bloomberg, and all this information came out about their strategy moving forward, the failures that they had last year. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect thing that I want to talk about on the podcast, and I can combine that with this other idea, and then we can have a big show. So it ends up that having the adaptability on the fly to say, hey, today we do a podcast, today we just do a morning show, it's better because I can adjust per the stuff we have to talk about. Like today, I'm not going to go much longer. The latest I'll go today on this show is 12:30 because I just don't have that much to talk about, and I want to get to gameplay. But I understand what you're saying. Maybe if I saved it up, the show would have a lot more topics or whatever, and I hear you. But at the same time, that's just not how life works. You know what I mean? Like for example, what's his name? Jamie Oliver. He does a show, or he used to. I don't even know if he still does it. He used to do a show on HBO that was called like Last Week Tonight. And even though people say the show is entertaining and pertinent, waiting a whole week to talk about what just happened in that week is kind of a long time, in my opinion. Like, by the time you get to the end of the week, people have already moved on, especially in today's modern society. If you're not covering a topic when it's hot within the first few days that it happened, most people just tend to not care anymore. They're already on to the next 10 things. So I also don't want to have to just wait to accumulate a ton of topics to talk about them. I'd like to just, talk about something when it's on my mind. So that's why I also want to do this every day. No, I never checked out 2XKO. I have no intention on ever playing it. I've already explained many times why. I'm not going to go into it again. Did I see that Overwatch is taking the number 2 out of their name? No, I did not see that. That's hilarious if it's true. I mean, it never should have had the 2 in the name to begin with. It never was a sequel. It was always the same game with tweaks. So, that's pretty funny, actually. What else is on your guys' mind today? Any topics? Any things I should know about that are pertinent? Before, again, remember, once we get into Street Fighter 6, it's going to be heavy focus on Street Fighter 6. Yes, I'll talk with you between sets and the like, but it's going to be like, we've got to focus on the game now. So I would like to get any interesting talking points or discussions out of the way beforehand. Did I ever think about doing a poll to see who wants to talk or play? Maybe it would save more time for playing. Casanova, do we have any problems with not having enough time to play games? I'm not aware of that. To my knowledge, we get through games. We don't have any issue with that. If there were an issue where literally I never finish a game because we keep getting distracted, then I'd be like, sure, let's do that. There's no problem. It seems like people are trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist. There's no problem. Everything's working. Okay? They're trying to do a lot of stuff to get people back. Rivals has scared them. I mean, why wouldn't it? Rivals has completely stolen their player base, right? Remember, you have to remember something. Overwatch was so popular in 2016, it won Game of the Year. It started a competitive league for a genre that didn't really exist beforehand. And it was making insane amounts of money. It was mainstream popular. Okay, like you could go to the store and there was Overwatch merch on the shelves. Like, wow, the game's that popular. Today, the game literally is not even pertinent to anything going on in gaming. You're hearing people talk about Arc Raiders, Marvel Rivals. You're not hearing a single person talk about Overwatch. It's a dead game. Yes, it has a player base because it had such a rabid fan base 10 years ago that it still persists today, but it's a fraction of what it used to have, nor is it really relevant in culture. Do you hear anyone in the mainstream talking about Overwatch today? Of course not. So they absolutely should be scared. Did I hear California has banned gas cars starting in 2035? Hey, they've already supposedly done it here too. I don't know what year it's supposed to be. But again, what's hilarious about these lawmakers that are doing these bans, they have absolutely no plans on how to actually implement said changes, nor do they know how it's going to affect the power grid, nor do they understand how people are going to afford electric cars. None of that. They laid none of the groundwork out for that. They're just outlawing gas cars. So it's probably going to be a shit show. Much like when I told you what happened to me when I moved here in 2014. So I moved out here. And when I moved across the country, the way that it works in the United States is the level of health care that you can receive through health insurance is dependent on where you live. Okay? So when I moved from Connecticut to Washington State completely across the USA, I lost my health care that I had in Connecticut. And I had to apply for new health care in Washington. And when I did, they said, go to this website, apply, we'll get back to you, you'll have healthcare or whatever. I did immediately when I moved out here. And I didn't hear anything for 2 months. And then I contacted them and said, what's going on? Do I have it or not? And they're like, no, you don't. Why don't I have it? Oh, because you applied, but, no one did anything with it. Why not? Because this is a brand new system. They rushed through this law, Obamacare, so that everyone has healthcare through this system, but the system doesn't work. We don't have people in place to run it yet. We don't actually have a system that works. So now that you've bothered us about it, we'll look at the stuff that you submitted 2 months ago. So what if I hadn't bothered you? Oh, well, then it would have just sat there and you never would have had health care. Oh, so that's how your system works. And that's how our lawmakers work. They push through laws that say, well, this is a feel-good thing. We want everyone to have health care, but then they don't design a system that will actually support that. They just say, oh, we'll just figure it out on the fly. In reality, it didn't really work properly for about 2 years because there's a website and everything now that's set up for it, but it didn't really work for around 2 years. I was all screwed up. My healthcare was here and there and different costs and everything was all messed up. So I would assume with this gas car initiative that they're going to do in California, that apparently they're doing here in Washington, it's going to be the same thing. They'll be like, hey, we outlaw it. But then we're like, well, wait a minute. There's not enough cars out there to be sold. People can't afford the electric cars. Now the electric grid is now being taxed constantly because everyone's plugging in electric cars and it can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? So I guarantee you it's going to be the same shit show. And it's just going to persist. You know? That's just how they do it. I don't know why. I don't know why you would keep voting in the same group of people too. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's keep voting in the people who pass laws but don't actually plan how to implement them, and then it screws everything up endlessly. Sounds like a good idea. Keep voting them in so that way everything stays messed up. But that's how it is in certain places in America. Can't really explain it. I guess people are just really stupid. I don't know what else to say. If you're that dumb, keep voting in the people who screw everything up. Okay, let's keep doing it. Sounds like a plan. Game Boy, no, I don't know about that. He says air travel has changed recently to become greener. In what? I didn't hear about that. In what ways did that happen? Did I ever consider doing political commentary streams? Well, I used to do a show called DS Politics. It ran weekly, one show a week for about a month and a half. It started off strong, and within a month, no one cared anymore, and no one showed up and attended or supported it, so I quit and said, fuck this. I would like to do a variety show. What I would like to do is a show where it's a set show once a week. Maybe some weeks we'll have topics, maybe some weeks we won't, but maybe it's a politics show. Maybe it's a show about pop culture. Maybe it's a show about, entertainment or whatever. We could talk about new, like, for example, last night I saw the final episode of Fallout Season 2. That show's effing amazing. Fallout Season 2 was better than Season 1 in every conceivable way. It's actually completely advanced the plot of New Vegas. It ended how I hoped, that it didn't just rush the end, but now New Vegas's plot will continue again next season. It was amazing. I loved the show. I absolutely loved everything about Season 2. Really. And everyone on the internet is like, oh, it sucks. Why? Because you're a whiny baby who wanted the game to actually continue exactly the same way? Well, guess what? You're not getting that. You're either getting this or you're getting nothing, and this is well written and well acted and well designed. Like, I couldn't believe some of the sets and shit. I was like, oh my God, it looks amazing. So anyway, I'd like to talk about stuff like that, but I'd also like it to be a show where I can have guests, where every once in a while we can have people on to talk about various different topics, right? It'd be cool to have different people coming on to talk about gaming, politics, pop culture, whatever, pro wrestling, right? Whatever. Just have random guests on. I think that would be cool. I'd like to implement that, and actually right now, I feel like I can actually do it. I have the setup to do it. I know how to work the technology now, but it's a matter of planning and a matter of timing and a matter of figuring it all out logistically. That's the harder part for me, because I already stream 6 days a week full time, and I have a full schedule of stuff that we're all enjoying. So it's like, where would I cram this show in to do this stuff, But I don't know. A full-time politics show didn't work. It's already been tried. It failed. So I wouldn't do a full-time politics show, but I wouldn't be opposed to having a variety show where we talk about politics from time to time. Alex says, I'm sad we gave up on Dredge so quickly. We didn't give up on Dredge. I haven't given up on Dredge at all. I'm interested in playing it further. Just, we're doing other things right now that seem to be more interesting. I would totally go back to Dredge at some point. I actually like the game, and I feel like we didn't even get to the horror aspect of it yet. Yes, Mission Vow. I agree with you. He says the Iron Lung movie had a budget of $3 million, already made 30. Big ups to Markiplier. That's insane. Yeah, it sounds to me the movie must be good. I actually legitimately want to see it. I'm interested in seeing the movie now because it sounds good. So good for him. I mean, that is something to be applauded. A guy who literally went against the system of Hollywood and is succeeding. Much like how with games this is happening. These indie game studios are going against the mainstream AAA studio formulas and they're succeeding. And now we have Markiplier who's breaking out, doing this too. That's good. I actually, standing ovation. Kudos to him. I want to see the movie. My suggestion, he's got to get that on digital services immediately. Like, as soon as he can possibly get it to digital services, because a lot of people aren't going to go to the movies. Just being honest, a lot of people want to see it digitally. They want to see everything digitally. he'll get insane amounts of money instantly if he gets that digital like within the next week. I would get it. If it was $20, I would pay $20 to see it because it's hot right now and I want to watch it. Free healthcare is not very good. You have to wait a year for procedures or surgeries to solidification. Let's see here. Casanova says, I have a spinning wheel behind you and see what topic it lands on. Ha! The wheel of topics. Here we go, everyone. And it could be politics. It could be movies. It could be video games. It's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Let's go. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Okay. Volkazik says, I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest. I'd much rather have Dragon Quest 12. Why do companies keep releasing remakes, delaying their main game? Atlas is releasing Persona 4 Revival, which now delayed Persona 6. You know, I don't know. For me, I really want a new Dragon Quest because 11 was absolutely sick, in my opinion. Like, it was one of the best RPGs I've played in my life, not only just as, like, a YouTuber, but as a gamer. I loved the game, and I would love to have the next one, but, hey, I never played 7. So for me, at least, this is a first-time experience, and it should be a fun one. But I agree with you. Like, I want the next Dragon Quest. We're all getting older, right? We're not getting younger. We need to have this game before we all die. So we need the next GTA. We need the next Dragon Quest. God damn it. Where are they? And aren't they making a new BioShock or something? Where the fuck is that? Airlines want you to pay extra so they can use greener fuels. Oh my God. You know what's funny? No, here's a funny story about green stuff, okay? So I live in Washington State. We're considered a green state, meaning almost all the decisions our lawmakers make are based on the environment and supposedly helping the environment, okay? They came up with this cockamamie idea that they were going to make companies that operate in Washington State have to pay this emissions allowance program fee. So basically, here's how it works. You can operate a business in Washington State, like a manufacturing business or a factory. But if you do, we are going to measure the amount of emissions that you put out of your factory into the air, and you have to buy emissions credits, okay? It's like permission to pollute. You have to pay permission to pollute, all right, in order to have business here. So when this was announced, immediately a whole bunch of businesses says, fuck this, we're not going to operate in Washington anymore. And they just uprooted and left and went to another state that wasn't doing this thing. You know, cheaper to operate there. Why would you stay in Washington? So immediately it hurt the state massively when they announced the initiative and launched it. Some companies stayed. They paid the fees or whatever. So now, this year, they did an assessment. How's it doing? Okay? Listen to this. I'm not making this up. This is actual factual news. When they did the assessment, they found out that the program only did a fraction of a percent of the actual impact that it thought it would have. Like, they thought this was going to have a massive impact on the environment and help massively. It was supposed to be like this much help. It helped this much. And when they actually rechecked the numbers, they actually found out someone fucked up a decimal point. So they based this entire program, all this money, funding, having businesses literally quit and leave the state because they wanted to be green and help the environment. Come to find out, the program only helped it this much and actually was a net loss. That's how our politicians and our government works here. They're complete fucking idiots. They actually don't know what the hell they're doing, and we all pay for it because all the businesses left. There's no more manufacturing in Washington State. It all left. And now there's a stupid, did the environment get better? No, it didn't. It's insane. And by the way, for the record, yes, I live in a liberal state. No, I'm not anti-liberal. I'm not, because I'm not conservative and I'm not liberal either. I laugh when I look at people who think they're so fucking smart and they're in charge of everything. And they literally run it worse than a 5-year-old would. We put these people in charge and keep voting them in, right? Keep voting the same people in. Well, are things getting any better? Well, then why do you keep voting the same people in? We have concrete evidence that all the money that goes to our taxes and stuff in the state is going to the wrong things. It's not helping anything. Has crime reduced? No. Has the environment improved? No. So why are we voting in the people who are championing these causes and then doing nothing for them? Anyway. Do I like Connecticut or Washington better? It depends on what you mean, Layla. Like, overall, Washington is better. Here's why. Less population density. There's less people per whatever the thing is per square mile or whatever here than there was in Connecticut. Because of that, it just feels like there's more space. You can do more and not sit in fucking traffic all day. You know what I'm saying? I live in an area here where everything that I want is within just a few miles of driving. And basically, I don't feel like I'm in a can of sardines crammed in with a bunch of people. When I lived in Connecticut, it was the opposite. There were way too many people in a crammed radius, so there was traffic, waits, everything sucked. There was just way too many people in a small area, and then nothing was around. If I wanted to go do this activity or have this kind of food or buy this product, I had to drive to get to it. So it's like the opposite here. Also, to be honest, the environment and things out here is better. Beautiful mountains and trees, evergreens, and nature and all kinds of stuff that we didn't have in Connecticut where I live. So it's overall, it is better for a few reasons. There's a lot of things here that are worse too. Like overall, the cuisine out here, it's mostly Asian cuisine. There's almost no good variety of cuisine in Washington State. It sucks. Like, I miss Italian food. I miss American fare food. They just don't have it out here. Instead, it's every fucking restaurant is a variation of Asian. Like, what the hell? I get tired of Asian food. I want something different. But overall, I do like it here better than when I lived in Connecticut. The weather, particularly, is much better here. Connecticut gets literally the absolute worst weather. The heavy snowfall, ice, blizzards, and then insane heat, tropical weather, thunderstorms. I'm serious, tornadoes. They have it all. It's like the worst of the worst. Why the fuck would you want to live there? Two extremes. Thank you to Roy for a $5 super chat. He says, why not call it the pre-stream? That way you do morning and evening and upload both. The evening has great moments as well. You really want me to call it the pre-stream? Are you aware that's how this all started? You know that, right? It was actually called the pre-stream at first. And people hated that. People absolutely hated that when it was called the pre-stream. Roy, the truth is it doesn't matter what I call it. Everyone will complain anyway, so I don't give a shit. You can call it the Damp Sock podcast, or you can call it DSP Sneezes. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're just going to hang out and, you know. Did I ever watch The Cat Whisperer? No, I've never seen The Cat Whisperer. Space Jam fan says, I guess it's come full circle. I guess so. I really guess so. There you go. DSP farts. What I'll do, we'll start the show every day. I'll just do armpit farts for 5 straight minutes, and then we'll begin. And it'll be the DSP's armpit farts ensemble spectacular or something. It doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter. I can literally improve as much as I possibly can, be as professional as I can. It doesn't matter. People will just say it's bad, so I don't care anymore. Did I notice half the Kick audience died waiting for gameplay? No, the Kick audience is mostly bots. The Kick audience is the same guy sitting there with his bot network. So I just fucking ban all the bots as he talks. Thank you, Bardikit, for the first... Well, that's the second kicks of the day. It's 100 kicks. Thank you, Bardikit. Did I even vote? No, I already told you guys. I 100% have admitted there's no point in me voting out here, because out here, where I live in Washington State, we are one of the, I think, the top 3 most liberal states in the country. So no matter what issue, no matter what's at stake, no matter what's being voted on, the liberal option always wins. 1,000,000% of the time. There's no reason to vote, because it's always like 80-20 skewed towards liberal. So it's a complete waste of a vote. Like, I don't even need to go to vote. I don't need to mail in my vote. It's actually a waste of time. And it's awful like that. I would much rather live in a state that is kind of like back and forth contentious, because then at least you could have like a stake with your vote. Like, it means something. Out here, it's completely meaningless. Like, it seriously has zero impact if you vote or not, because no matter what, 80% of the votes are liberal. So it's pretty sad. But, you know, I don't really... That's the problem with a two-party system. Jade, I've only been picking the old version of Sagat. Yeah, his skin. I think the original is better. Like, the modern skin's okay with the tiger or whatever, the tiger skin, but yeah, the classic is my cup of tea. Have I ever considered running for local office? Are you crazy? You must be crazy. Guys, let's go. Let's get some support for the stream. I hope you've enjoyed the morning show because it's going to end shortly. It's now gone on for an hour. So we are going to end the show shortly. And we're going to get into Street Fighter 6. But let's go. Let's get some support for the stream if you've enjoyed the morning show. I hope that you will stick around for the Street Fighter 6. You know, we're going to do about an hour of practice. Then I'm going to take my break. Then we're going to do the placement matches in ranked. And then we're going to see how I do. And then hopefully play some ranked and have fun here today. All right, let's go. Let's get support for today's variety on the morning show. This was a good show where we talked about a lot of topics. It really was fun. Dig Bix says, I've been gone for a while. I love your new setup. Thank you, Dig Bix. I'm glad you're liking all the improvements around here. Stalling? What do you mean? This is the hangout session. Again, you have to understand that once we start with Street Fighter 6, that's pretty much the rest of the stream. Like, we're not going to be talking or really hanging out that much. It's going to be me focused on getting better and ranking, and, you know, that's it. So, this is your opportunity to chill with me. There's no going back once we start, says Daniel. That is correct. In time, you can only ever move forward. You can never go back. So, you just got to deal with that, right? We are in a linear movement forward in time, I should say. What's for dinner tonight? I think tonight, we have a whole bunch of new healthy options we've been trying. So, last week when we had our extra time together, my wife and I did some extra shopping and we went to Trader Joe's. And at Trader Joe's, we bought a whole bunch of healthy foods. And one of the things we tried is veggie burgers. So, we're actually going to try veggie burgers for dinner. We actually bought like super healthy, whole wheat, protein-packed buns. And we're going to try veggie burgers with like lettuce, tomato, maybe some jalapeno. And we bought a couple different sauces to try with it too. Like we have a spicy chili sauce. We have a mango chutney. So we're going to try veggie burgers for dinner and see if they're any good. Well, I've had veggie burgers before, but never bought them at home. I've had them at like a restaurant and they were decent. But you don't know what they're going to be like, you know, at home. We'll have to see. Digbix, Pathologic 3 has been suggested by a very, very small group of people. And originally, I was all for it. I was going to play it when it came out as a new release. And people were like, what is that? Why are you playing that? We never heard of it. So I delayed it. And then people just kept asking for other stuff. And we never really got around to trying it. I'm not opposed to trying it. But some people seem to be of the impression it wouldn't be a good streaming game. I don't know. Layla, we have one burger that's a black bean burger that has corn and other, like, quinoa. Is it quinoa? Is that how you pronounce the, whatever it's called? I think it's supposed to be black bean, quinoa, and corn. We have another one that's supposed to be, like, very much inspired by Indian flavors, but I don't know what it's made of. Maybe it's chickpea-based. I don't know. They're really showing the love today. I told you guys. They're showing the love. What about tomorrow? Tomorrow I think we're having turkey meatloaf and broccoli. Yes. It's really funny because my diet is very healthy now. Like, it's gotten way healthier. Just in the last couple of years, we've changed a lot of our meals into more healthier versions of said meals. And then people say, well, how can you eat fast food for DSP tries it every week? Why aren't you ballooning up? Because literally every other meal I'm eating is like healthy as hell. And all of my snacks are healthy too. Jade says, can we look at Legos for the DSP morning show tomorrow? Listen, I like building Legos. Okay, I do. Like, think about the 1 year ago, we were building the succulent plant. That was my first one ever, right? Then we built the Minecraft one. That was during a marathon, right? Then we did the piranha plant from Mario, which is a good one that I will put in my set from time to time. I think that's a great one. Then we built the Lego Game Boy, which was fun. And now we have built Lego Super Mario World Mario and Yoshi together who move and everything. This is fun. This is crazy good. Look. Pretty neat. The opening mouth and everything, right? Looks cool. Why not have his tongue out? Here, I'll have his tongue sticking out today. Love it, right? Really good stuff for the set and everything. The problem is, these are not quick to build. Like, for example, this one is over 1,200 pieces. It took 3 streams. First stream did incredibly well. Second stream did okay. Third stream tanked and was slow as hell. People like the Lego stuff when it's like a new event the first time, then after that, they're already bored. So the problem with Legos is I can only bring them back periodically. I can't do them all the time. Like, could I do another Lego? Sure, probably like the summertime. We're in the middle of the summer, things are slow or whatever for games. Maybe we'll do a Lego build, right? But I sadly just can't do it like all the time because the interest just doesn't stick. It doesn't stay for whatever reason. So would I like to look at more Legos? Sure. But by the time that we do another one in the summer, there may be all new ones out anyway. You know, like right now, I would say probably the next Lego I'd be interested in was that Pikachu that's like jumping out of a Pokeball with the lightning coming out of him. That looks neat to me. And that's probably around the similar build as this one. It's not going to be like, you know, 6,000 part pieces that take 10 streams to finish. But we'll see. But no, I'm not really looking for a new Lego set right now. This one took a while, but I'm not really going to be building another one right away. So. Digbig says, is there any unhealthy snacks that you really miss? I had a period when I lived in the States, I was addicted to Cheetos, Mike and Ike's, and Sour Patch Kids. Jeez. Basically, junk food, right? For me, I haven't regularly eaten junk food since I was a kid. All right? My problem was always that my eating schedule has been incredibly bizarre since I became a YouTuber. So I used to not eat breakfast at all or have a meal replacement shot that was just full of vitamins, okay? Then I just had really bizarre eating schedule. What I used to do was I would get up in the morning and barely have a breakfast. Then I would record for many hours. Then I would go eat insanely bad fast food for my dinner. And then I would record more. And then I would drink at night and eat. Like I'd have egg sandwiches and fried foods at night in the middle of the night while I was drinking, okay? Absolutely horrible, right? 100% terrible. Then when I moved out here 12 years ago, I would basically have a basic breakfast of some sort, but again, it was kind of unhealthy. I would even have like one of those breakfast burritos or something in the microwave. And then dinner, I would have one big meal at dinner, but then I would be starving after my late stream. So I would have like a giant lunch meat sandwich with sauces and cheeses, and I would have like a side of chips and stuff with it. Just, you shouldn't be eating that at night right before you go to sleep, and that's what I would do. So basically, my lifestyle was awful, all right? Now I've changed it so that I have a healthy breakfast sandwich and a black coffee in the morning. I have one major meal at dinner. That's my major source of calories and stuff there. And then at night, if I'm going to eat at night, I have a healthy snack, like a single bag of protein chips. That's only like 150 calories, but like 15 to 20 grams of protein, very low sodium, very low sugar, you know, or one of these protein bars where it kind of tastes like a candy bar, but it's really not. It has like no sugar and it has tons of protein. That's what I eat at night now if I'm going to have a snack before I go to sleep. And that's my whole diet. So if you listen there's no snacking foods, right? I don't snack during streams, between streams. I've trained my body to not crave food during the day. All I do is I drink water like this. And that's all I do. And then I have a coffee. Like I'll play here on stream for an hour, take a break, and then I'll have a coffee after. That's it. That's all I do. So essentially, I phase snacking foods out of my diet and haven't wanted them in the longest time. Like, what did I used to snack on when I was a kid? Just like anyone, I loved chips. Cheese puffs. Not Cheetos, but cheese puffs. Pringles. Various kinds of popcorn. Cheddar cheese popcorn. Super delicious. Chocolate. I've always said I'm a chocoholic, right? I am. I love chocolate. I used to eat things like Milky Way, Snickers, Three Musketeers, Hershey bars, Nestle's Crunch, Kit Kat, that kind of stuff all the time. That was my favorite, like some of my favorite candies that I used to eat. Anything milk chocolate, oh man, amazing, right? So, yeah, that's what I used to do, but I haven't done that in the longest time. No, Layla, I've never been addicted to soda. Lucky for me, like, do we have soda in the household when I was a kid? Yes. But did I drink it regularly? No. Actually, for me, it was far more common to drink something like a Kool-Aid or one of those mixed soft drinks that's not carbonated. Those I would drink more. And I haven't regularly had soda in the house since I lived here. Right now, I think in our house, we have 2 or 3 cans of Coke Zero that occasionally my wife drinks. I don't even drink it. Outside of that, the only other carbonated stuff that I have would be the alcoholic seltzers that we haven't had in over a month. Remember, I was drinking those for the truck sim streams. Yeah, that's it. I have no soda, no Coke, no Pepsi, no Sprite, nothing, no soda in this house. Yeah. How often would I consume grape and orange juice back in the day? We would always have an orange juice in the house. Maybe like once a week I'd have orange juice for breakfast. But actually I would have usually tea, a cup of tea for breakfast, and or water or something like that. That was really what I drank with my breakfast in the morning, not like fruit juice. Fruit juice is very high in sugar and calories. It is. Did I like apple juice? Yes, but did I have it frequently? No, not so frequently. Soul at 2 a.m., thanks for $2. Would Dubai chocolate be a good snack? I don't know. I've never had it, nor do I really have a desire to try it, simply because it doesn't look that good. It's like some kind of like low-quality pistachio goo that they shove inside of like what appears to be mid to low-grade chocolate, right? Like I haven't actually seen, it's everywhere, right? Dubai chocolate is literally everywhere. I've never actually seen it look good. It always looks like, oh, it's a fad, and they just threw together low-quality ingredients to pretend like it's good, and they don't want to actually, you know what I mean? Like, they're just capitalizing or banking on the fad rather than actually selling a good product. To be honest, I think, like, originally whatever this was a good thing. Like, maybe actually having fresh, high-quality pistachios crushed and put inside of a high-grade chocolate bar probably tasted really good, and so a couple people did it in Dubai, and it was popular. And then a whole bunch of people saw this and said, let's capitalize on it and steal the idea and bring it worldwide. And then they just fucked the whole idea up by having the lowest grade garbage processed into it. It looks like crap now, you know? So I literally haven't even tried it. Not once, nor do I really have a desire to. Matty Ice, thanks for $1 tip. He says, I just woke up with the pineapple on pizza music now stuck in my head. Last night's stream was epic. Want to know if we can play it as background music today? No, I don't think we'll play that as background music. You're right. It is addictive, though. It's very addicting music. And I think that's why they charged for the soundtrack. Like, the game itself, Pineapple on Pizza, is free. But the soundtrack is $1. They probably made a ton of money on the soundtrack because it's such a good, catchy song. No, I did not see any live-action trailer of Resident Evil. I didn't. I guess you're saying there was a live-action trailer for the game coming up? No, I didn't see that. Don Jackson says, looking forward to your Dragon Quest 7 stream starting tomorrow. What's your favorite Dragon Quest game so far? Ooh. Modern one, obviously Dragon Quest 11. Super amazing game. Absolutely loved the game. The fact that it had 2 plots. And it basically is like 2 games in one, like ultimate value, great character development, great gameplay design. Just loved it. I can't remember. I've only played each Dragon Quest game like once. And the one that I remember being my favorite, there was this one where there were like dimensional portals. I don't know if it was multiverse or time travel, but I just remember there was one where there were dimensional portals and different versions of characters. And I remember really liking that one as I was playing it. But that was a million years ago. I actually played it on the handheld port it was. I think it was either like Game Boy Advance or DS or something. So whichever one that was really good of the classics. And then the best one that from recent time obviously was 11. So I never played 8. I bought Dragon Quest 8's PS2 game. I bought it, but it wasn't working in the United States. It was like you had to have like an import or a modded PS2 to play it. I had a modded PS2 and it completely destroyed my my game. Like, my PS2 was modded to have a different lid and a different way to boot the disc so you could play Japanese games. So I imported Dragon Quest 8. I went to play it and scratched the disc and ate it so I could ever play it. Okay. Well, folks, I think we have gone very long here on the show. I'd like to end it, and what I want to do is just check with my wife and see if I don't think she's ready for a break yet, so we'll probably do our hour warm-ups with Sagat in casual play. Then I'll go on my break, and then when I come back from that break, we'll do the ranked placements. That's what I'm thinking. So I want to say thank you all. Great DSP morning show today. Chill vibes, you know, good interactions, good conversation. Had a great time. There will be a morning show tomorrow, but I would like to keep it on the shorter side because tomorrow is the premiere of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and I'd like to play as much of the game as possible in the premiere stream. So likely it'll just be, you know, maybe like a half an hour to 40 minutes, and then we'll end the show and we'll jump into the game on the earlier side tomorrow. Okay? All right, guys, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the show, and see you tomorrow.